Inconsistently consistent.
Okay,
So
you should do the intro because I definitely did it last time.
I was gonna do it anyways because I was feeling nice because you've been dying.
I feel like you did it last time, and that's the rule. But I appreciate that you felt like you had to act like I'm a charity case, and thanks for that. I woke up today and chose violence, okay?
Apparently.
Because I woke up at 2 a.m. and my stomach decided it wanted to murder me from the inside out, okay?
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Inconsistently Consistent, the podcast where our stomachs murder our whole fucking shit. The podcast where our stomachs murder us.
Okay. Take two. Take it from the top, Rachel. Keep all of this in, but take two. Start it over. Roll it back.
Welcome to our podcast. We're Inconsistently Consistent. My name is Rachel.
I sound like you're enthusiastic about this. Like I don't have a gun to your head. Take 3.
No.
Yes, take 3. Hey, I was dying or something like that. Charity case. Calling this in. I'm using that card. Go, take 3.
Hello and welcome to Inconsistently Consistent. My name is Rachel. My stomach has not tried to kill me this week.
My name is Melanie, and my stomach has tried to murder me this week on multiple occasions, but I'm still standing. My stomach, not so much.
I'm still standing. I don't know the actual rest of the words, so that's all I'm saying.
I don't even know what that song is, so.
It's fine. It's fine. Hi, we're back. It's Christmas. Guess what? It's December, which means Christmas and holidays and fun shit and yeah.
And possibly snow if you're in a part of the world that gets snow.
My sister, who lives in Thunder Bay, has had snow since like mid-November.
I don't remember when the snow started here. I just feel like it's always been here, and it'll always ever be here.
It's Newfoundland. The snow is part of you.
Yeah, the snow is always here, and it will always ever be here, and now we live in igloos.
We do not have snow. We are supposed to get flurries the weekend, but it's been way too warm because I have been stuffed for like a month because our weather's been like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So my sinuses are very confused.
Okay, I'm glad you elaborated that it was your sinuses that were stuffed, because that was confusing.
Yes, it's my sinuses. No
We're
other
talking
part
about snow, and you're like, I've been stuffed for like a month.
no other part of me is.
How does this make sense, Rachel? How do you talk about weather and talk about your stuffed? Oh
Like,
yeah, we've been stuffed with snow for a month now. That's how you explain snow.
this means snow gets stuffed in places, but all right. Go off. You're cranky. I get it.
I have been up all night. Okay.
She's been all night.
And not for a fun reason, okay? Because my stomach woke up and chose violence at like 2 or 3 a.m. I don't know. I wasn't looking at a clock. So I have chose violence now against this podcast.
Her stomach said, "Let me sing you the song of my people."
Yeah, and it said, "Oh, oh, oh, oh."
I said, "Oh,
that's the sound." Kind of realistic sounding, actually, Rachel. It's kind of scary. I look down at my stomach now and go, "Don't get any ideas."
And it's like,
that's not a mating call.
Okay, gotta hit the at a certain rate.
you just said. Are you having a stroke?
Maybe.
All right. Okay. We'll just gloss over the fact that Rachel may need medical attention. So today we are doing a very special episode for the Christmas / holiday, non-denominational
What?
holiday.
Oh, you want to try that again?
I had a stroke.
We both
It's
have
contagious.
tonight, apparently.
It is contagious, Rachel. Whatever you had, I got it.
Oh man, it's been a
Um,
week at work. Like it's been a week. I'm glad it's Friday. Let's
yeah,
read some holiday / Christmas stories and decide if people suck or not.
yes. I was trying to say non-denominational,
Okay, there we go.
right? Because we're inclusive here at the Inconsistently Consistent podcast. And also, I did not stick to Christmas or any holiday specifically. I may have had Thanksgiving included, like American Thanksgiving. So that's
Mhm,
pretty close to Christmas time.
mhm,
Like the month of December. It's the end of November, right? That's close-ish. And also, one of my stories take place at a wedding, which doesn't identify what month
mhm,
it would take place in, but I'm gonna say it takes place near Christmas time because I can argue that
mhm,
for purposes of putting it into this podcast
mhm.
because I just wanted to.
Yes,
I found the story and it made me laugh, so it's going in.
that sounds good to me.
Yeah, and you can't argue against it because I said so.
And like I said, this is the pity Melanie episode because she's dying.
How dare thee pity me? How dare thee? I will not accept charity. So I will accept money. Okay? Pity, no. Money, yes. You can send it to uh, my bank account
You can send
now.
it to her law office because pay your lawyers.
Pay your lawyers. And also, um, if you think like, hey, you know what would really help if you're dying as well on the toilet because your stomach is trying to murder you and you think you may have been poisoned by your co-host on the podcast, you should definitely have a book to read, shouldn't you, Rachel?
You
And
should.
it's definitely a book that Rachel has read at this point because she's definitely a good friend who's read your book that you have written. And, best friends definitely didn't poison you. Definitely didn't poison me. She's very silent right now.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like someone who poisoned me.
I plead the fifth.
I have caught her. Well, you could buy my book at www.melanieflynnbooks.com.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it may be updated now to say that Rachel poisoned Melanie. Yeah. It soon might be posthumous, like published for the
Is that,
next one.
yeah, yeah. On that, not non-related. You got any other like book ideas? Just you know, hanging
Book
around. You
idea?
need to be published. Like not saying something's gonna happen to you, but if you need them to
I'm
be.
working on 2 other books, Rachel, and it would be a shame if they didn't get published because I was murdered.
Oh no, they would get published. I'm just saying, like, it's good to know that
They're
there's.
not finished yet, Rachel.
Sure.
Oh, could you wait to murder me till I'm done?
I plead the fifth.
God damn it. No Christmas presents for you. Only coal in your stocking.
It's okay.
And your non-denominational stocking.
I deserve coal. It's okay.
Non-denominational foot covering hanging on your fireplace.
I guess I'll just cancel your gift that's on the way. That's fine.
Unless it's money.
Um,
And
it's
then you should just like send it faster.
it's not money, but it's something that you will get a really good kick out of once you read it.
Did you write a book?
I didn't write a book.
You said once I read it.
Yeah, because there's something written on something that as soon as I saw it, I said, yes, this screams Melanie.
Okay. I'm not good with being told there's a gift on the way because now I want to know. So we should just move on.
We should just move on. Yes.
Yeah. And you do something.
Okay, so we're gonna read some things and we're gonna talk about them and react to them. And
Very specific.
yes, yeah. Melanie says she has long ones. I have short ones. I've got
Mhm.
some retail
It's not
horror
the size
stories.
that matters.
No, the content.
Hmm. And it's, the motion that you put in to the stories, when you read them.
Hmm.
The motion of the ocean, if you will.
Yes. So I've got some very short, bad Christmas experiences. Melanie's got
Mm-hmm.
some general holiday things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to just read through them.
Okay. Do you have one you want to go with first? Get a little taste tester.
Yes, I do. So this one's
Mm-hmm.
very short, but my uncle got sent a letter. It got there a little before Christmas, and it was from his 18-year-old son that he didn't know he had.
Ooh.
So yeah, he told us at Christmas. Merry Christmas, you have a son.
Oh my gosh. And there's no context? Like
There's no,
nothing else?
nope.
Oh my God. Merry Christmas. Now
Merry,
you're a daddy.
Merry Christmas, you dad. Now you gotta pay my university.
Merry Christmas. I need some money. Merry Christmas. I need a kidney. Can
Merry
you
Christmas.
imagine that family?
Merry
What?
Christmas, my heart exploded. I need yours.
Merry Christmas. You attached to that heart? You busy? You using that very long? You expecting to live much longer? Uh, can you imagine the family though? Like of the uncle, and they're
Yeah.
like all finding out about this 18-year-old kid that this guy has at Christmas, and it's just like awkward.
You're literally just like, oh, well then.
Because what if that uncle has like a wife and kids, or like like a partner, and like a whole family already,
Hmm.
right? And they're just like, excuse you? What were you doing before?
Yeah, that'd be awkward. I guess depending on how long him and his partner have been together and they do the math, they could be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Like, are we gonna just set another place at the table for Christmas dinner?
Yeah. Do we need to like go try and find some gifts at a gas station because that's the only thing that's open on Christmas? They have a pack of beef jerky. Merry Christmas. Here's the jerky.
Oh my god. So awkward.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what else to say about that. I want to see that play out.
Yeah, so do I.
Like not the real life thing. Like I want to see it in a movie play
Mhm.
out because like the actual people dealing with that, like it must be hard.
There's
But
probably some Hallmark movie out there like that, let's be honest.
I it's probably like a rom-com
Yeah.
that's like outside of Hallmark, and it's probably like a Vince Vaughn film, I bet.
Vince Vaughn or Adam Sandler, maybe.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna happen to Nick Cannon because he's having all these kids.
No, I think he collects them. Like he knows where they all are. He
Does
keeps
he?
track.
Does he? Me and my
I
sister
think
were
he's
talking.
trying to. He's paying attention. Like
Me and my sister were talking
he
about.
knows where every sperm he let go is. Yeah, he's got GPS on all of them.
Oh, he's oh. Yes, in his sperm.
On every single cell.
Oh my god.
He's like, okay, boys, we got a mission. We're creating an army.
Is that his plan?
Baby army.
Is that why he's making so many children to make an army? Does he know something
A
we
baby
don't?
army. He is. He's making a baby army.
Does he know something we don't though?
I don't know, but this is his plan. I know it.
Okay. All right. Let's just hope none of us end up with a part of that baby army.
Well, Rachel, you're not a baby. You can't
No, I
join.
mean like being somebody who contributes as getting pregnant. Because apparently, according to somebody on Instagram, your two choices in life are getting pregnant by Nick Cannon or dating Pete Davidson. There is no other.
It's the only two choices.
The only two choices. You gotta get in one of
Okay.
the lines.
You have to get in one line
One of the
or the
lines.
other.
One or the other. That's it. Do you want me to read another one where mine are so short and then we can.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so here's another one. When I was a toddler, we were supposed to go to Savannah to visit my mom's family for Christmas. My dad said he couldn't go because he lost his wallet. It turns out that some prostitutes he had slept with took his money, ID cards, and all the cocaine he'd been carrying.
Not the cocaine.
Yes, the cocaine.
That's the reason you couldn't go to Savannah.
Exactly. We ended up going to Georgia without him. Unsurprisingly, my parents are not together anymore. I wonder why. And I'm estranged from my
Mm.
father.
It's probably because the mom like was really upset that he lost her cocaine,
Definitely.
right? It wasn't the prostitutes.
No,
She's
not
probably
at
okay with them. Like she's like, I knew them. They were good people.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was like one after the other, right? Like it's like he loses his wallet to the prostitutes that like he's obviously cheating,
Yes.
right? Paying for sex. And then Georgia, it's illegal in that state. Prostitution's illegal in that state. I'm pretty sure the only state that there's any legality to sex work is it's like somewhere in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada.
However,
Nevada?
tomato.
Tomato, whatever it is. Somewhere near Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So it's illegal there, and then he's got all that cocaine.
All the cocaine.
Not my cocaine.
My cocaine.
Oh, I was watching
Cocaine?
no, it just reminds me there's this sheriff down in oh god, what is it? it's somewhere in Florida, and he does press conferences. If anyone watches Bose versus the World, or Bose does true crime or anything like that from like uh, on Twitch or on YouTube,
Mhm.
she it's this she watches this sheriff down in Florida named Grady Judd all the time, and he gives press conferences, and they're basically like roasts. They're hilarious, right? So he's got this like Floridan accent, but it sounds really like Southern,
Mhm.
right? And he like pulls pictures up of people, like head like mugshots, and then like talks shit about them as he does it, right? And he
Mhm.
was talking about a prostitution sting, like a prostitution ring sting that they were doing. And
Mhm.
they call them all these like weird names, like fall sadness. Yeah, right? Like they're like um all puns on like uh basically uh like sports events
Mhm.
when they do them. And anyway, like they'll have like spring sting and the fall sadness and stuff like this. But he was talking about how they uh, they arrested one guy who was he didn't have enough cash on him, like one of the Johns that
Mhm.
was they arrested trying to solicit sex, and he was trying to make up for it. He had cash, but it wasn't enough. So he also had some I can't remember what else it was, but he had sour Skittles with him to share with the prostitute. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I just like I gotta like send you some of the videos though of Grady Judd, because he's so funny. I don't know, and he's not like trying to be, but he's like snarky, right? So he's like up there and he's like talking shit. So he's like, this guy, he was supposed to be like going to here today to like coach football, but he won't do that again because he was going to now he's gonna be locked up in prison because of this, right? And he'll just like come off with a bunch of like um one liners, like punchlines and all this.
Mhm.
It's really funny. But he was really obsessed with one guy who brought a case of White Claw and kept going, White Claw, in the voice to share with the sex worker, right? White Claw,
White Claw. So
White
speaking of
Claw.
accents, a few people at my work on my team, they like country music. Don't know why, because they're all wrong for liking country music. Um,
Agreed. Hmm.
and one of them, she was putting in her headphones to like focus, and she didn't have her headphones hooked up, so the song started playing loudly, and it started like
Rude.
the typical country twang. So then, legit, the four of us that were in there were like, "My wife left me, my dog ran away, and my Chevy truck broke down." Then we were all talking in accents for the next like 10 minutes. We were like, "Hey, Judith, what you doing over there? Is that client there giving you some headache? Kelly, you going to Walmart?"
The voice break. That was good. Going to Walmart.
Going to Walmart with this here thing. I was
Get the
actually
twang.
this is not related to this at all, but I got framed for something at work, and I was gonna call you to like do up a slander thing.
Oh God.
I got framed for taping my coworker's scissors up. Yeah.
Rachel. And you want me to like get involved?
I was gonna be like, I told her, I was like, I'm gonna call my lawyer because this is slander and this will not stand.
Rachel.
One of my other coworkers did it, and she fessed up in our team meeting because like me and the one who does it, Kelly, we got into it in our team meeting about it because like she literally was like framing me for it. Was like, "You're a monster! I can't believe you taped up my scissors and you taped up my staple remover." And I was like, "I didn't touch your damn stapler or your scissors. I didn't touch your desk this whole week." And my other coworker who did it, she finally fessed up, and I was like, and I turned to Kelly and I was like, "I think you owe me an apology."
Oh my god. Why is it so dramatic?
That's what we are. We're dramatic people. And like literally we got into it. So like she was saying all these things and like she has a kid. Her kid's very cute. But I literally went for the lowest blow. I was like, "Well, your child is ugly."
Oh, Rachel. Oh, low blow. That was below the belt and outside the ring.
And legit, everybody was like, "Oh, you." And she looked at me and she's like, "You take that back." I was like, "No." So then she apologized for blaming me, and I apologized for calling her child ugly.
Oh god. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like an episode of The Bachelor, but like Office Edition.
I don't watch The Bachelor, so
Well, that's the shit that happens.
yeah. It was
But
very,
like
gave me very
not
middle school vibes, you know?
that's that's why I watch The Bachelor and stuff like that because middle school vibes,
Mm-hmm.
drama all the time. Watch it. You just watch like stupid fights of people.
Yeah.
And then you go, "Why are you doing this?" But you can't look away.
Everybody was in on it. That's the thing. So like there's a few people who didn't know, but most people knew that I didn't do it and they were literally like feeding her like, "Oh yeah, she totally did this." So I literally
Yes.
said
You
to
were involved in basically the office version of The Bachelor. That's what happens all the time. They all gang up on the one. And they're like, that person's the villain of the season.
and I said to my manager, I was like, "I quit." And she's like, "I refuse to accept your resignation." I was like, "All righty then."
He tried to quit.
Jokingly.
Rachel. He tried to quit and call your lawyer
I did.
in the middle of it. You need to make a TikTok of this. Pretending to be all the people. Like, obviously, like, don't say anybody's names or anything. But this is, like, ridiculous, and I love it.
Legit, I was like, "I quit." And she's like, I'm not accepting your resignation." I was like, "All right, what if I try again tomorrow?" And she's like, "Maybe."
Please make a TikTok. Even if it's just, like, for me. I want to see it. I want to see you act this out. I want you to, like, go and pretend to be everybody. I need this. I'm not joking.
I know you're not. I probably will do it because it was pretty funny. I mean, I made a TikTok a while ago and I forgot my dad follows me on TikTok.
Uh-oh, what'd you
And
do?
it was
I need to turn on TikTok notifications or something because I never know when you post.
so I
I
did
never
one.
see them.
It was like just making joke of the situation that happened. I didn't use names or anything, but I just was like, "Oh, when they try to get under your skin." And then I did this, and it took me forever. I was doing this thing where you like shake your head and your sunglasses fall down. It took me forever to get that because the sunglasses kept getting caught in my hair.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I put it down, and then the caption was, "But your skin's thicker than his dick."
Nice.
And then like I forgot my dad follows me on TikTok, and then he like showed my mom. My mom was like, "Somebody's posting naughty TikToks." I was like, "It's not a naughty TikTok. What do you think I am, stripping on TikTok? Jeez,
It's not a thirst trap.
it's not a thirst trap, okay?"
Oh, not yet.
I mean, maybe we'll see if things get desperate. Well, that's what the OnlyFans is for if things get desperate.
Always do that.
But I also realize I can't really do OnlyFans by showing my body because I have too many distinguishable tattoos.
Yeah, you'd have to like put a lot of makeup on first,
Yeah,
like get like a really heavy coverage foundation and
yeah.
cover it.
I don't know who's gonna do my back one. Figure that out. Get a paint roller and just roll
Picture it.
it.
The paint roller.
Take a paint roller in my bathroom and I like roll up and
Gotta get ready for the OnlyFans.
now you're ready for some trimming.
And then you can get ready with me.
Get ready to film for my OnlyFans. This is my foundation roller. I use it to cover my tattoos.
Oh my god. My face hurts.
We Christmas, holidays. Let's get
Okay. Okay,
okay.
I've got an Am I the Asshole one from Reddit.
Okay.
Hold on. I need to take a sip of my drink.
Okay.
My throat is dry.
Okay.
Okay. So, am I the asshole for not reimbursing my brother for an air mattress? And you may say, how is this related to anything Christmassy or such, or holiday? But it's a Thanksgiving one. So,
Okay.
this happened around Thanksgiving. See? It is holiday.
Yes.
It's right there. But I'm still getting shit about it from my family. I'm a 27-year-old woman who lives in a one-bedroom apartment by myself. My brother, 24, and his significant other, 22, have lived on the opposite side of the country in the US for a few years and decided to fly over to see their respective families, both of whom live around the same area. Neither my brother nor his girlfriend felt comfortable staying with their parents due to COVID. So I offered them my apartment while I stayed with my significant other for the week. Everyone was happy with this arrangement. We never talked about it specifically before they arrived, so I just assumed that they would sleep in my queen size bed. I have a couple of couches in the living area, and while they are comfortable enough, they aren't designed to be sofa beds. The morning they arrived, I cleaned the apartment and changed the bedding. When they got to my apartment, my brother asked where they would sleep, and I indicated the bed. He sort of laughed at first and then realized I was serious and got really angry. His girlfriend didn't say much, but looked mortified. My brother kept saying that there was no way they were sleeping in my bed and it was disgusting for me to offer. I told him that everything was clean and reminded him that they'd have the apartment to themselves. He just kept saying that he couldn't believe it and finally snapped that they'd have to make do with the couch. I left quickly without further discussion because I was confused and pretty upset. That night, my brother called me and said the couches were impossible to sleep on. He said that he and his girlfriend needed to purchase an air mattress and requested that I reimburse him the $55 they paid for it. By now, I was really pissed off and refused to do so. I asked him again why they didn't just take the bed, and he said that if I really had to ask, I have major issues.
Mm-hmm.
I said that I didn't care what they did or did not do in the bed. We are all adults and should act accordingly. He called me disgusting again and hung up. My
Oh.
parent Yeah, Jesus. My parents found out and agreed that I should pay for the air mattress because I wasn't adequately prepared for their arrival. My mother especially keeps insinuating that what I did was gross and unfair and I should have known better. My brother was My brother has let it be known that our relationship won't go back to normal until I apologize and reimburse him and his girlfriend. I know my family can be kind of weird and uptight, so I asked my significant other and some friends for their perspective. My boyfriend says that he can see both sides, and my friends are basically siding with my parents and brother,
Huh?
saying that it would be inappropriate for me to sleep in the same bed that my brother and his girlfriend previously shared. So that's what was there first. There
Uh-huh.
is an edit.
Okay.
So, do you want to talk before I read the edit?
No, read the edit.
Okay. So the edit says a lot of people are asking if we belong to some weird culture where siblings aren't able to share beds. We do not. And my family has never been religious anyway. But as I stated in my post, they are really uptight. And really is like all caps.
Mm-hmm.
Like we learned about the birds and the bees, but sex was always presented as something unpleasant and nasty.
Mm.
Okay. My brother and I never discuss each other's sexuality slash sex lives, uh, sexual lives. Actually, that's weird. That's what said that way.
Mm.
Which, in my opinion, is normal, but it's pretty clear he has some major hangups. My boyfriend is more open about sex, but he's also very attuned to when people feel uncomfortable and says that even though he disagrees with their reasoning, he can understand why they might not want to sleep in my bed. He thinks I should just pay the $55 to keep the peace. My friends, no idea. LOL.
Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Okay. Not the asshole.
Yeah,
Because
that's my take.
so I've had people stay at my apartment. Like my sister has stayed here. When the power's gone out, my grandma has stayed here. And I always offer my bed
hmm
because they're a guest and that's the polite thing to do.
hmm
And even like when I went and spent Christmas with my sister last year, I slept in her bed. Like she didn't make me sleep on the air mattress.
hmm
And like, yes, I'm sure they are aware that some things have happened in that bed,
hmm
as I am aware that some things happened in my sister's bed. But like you change the sheet, so it's not like you're sleeping in the Humpton sheets, you know?
The Humpton.
You know what I mean? Like it's not
It
like
sounds like Hampton in like the hotel, right? Oh, speaking of hotels, can he even go to hotels if he's that uptight?
oh no, he
Fucking
can't.
hotel beds all the time.
Oh,
So
listen,
people get murdered in hotel beds all the
as
time.
somebody who has humped in hotel beds multiple times, yes.
They change the mattress in between guests.
Well, no, they don't. So, like, what does
No,
he
I'm
do?
just saying this guy.
He probably, you know what? He's one of those people that brings probably like a mattress cover or something.
He probably brings his own mattress.
Yeah, he brings like his own mattress. He brings an air mattress, then sleeps on the floor in the hotel room.
He hangs himself from the ceiling
Yes.
like Dracula
Yeah, he sleeps like a
in
bat
the
upside.
hotel. Yes, that's what I'm picturing. He's like, I can't touch anything.
Yeah, he sleeps in a hazmat suit upside down.
Yeah, he's got an oxygen tank and everything. Like he's like, I can't touch anything.
Yeah,
People have fucked all over this room.
yeah. Which in hotel rooms, yes, they have.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why the ceiling's the only place that's safe. He's thinking.
Well, well,
That's what it's in his mind. It's not my thought. It's his.
that's true. He thinks the
Yeah.
ceiling's safe. There's no way they could got get things on the ceiling.
There's no way they can fuck on the ceiling.
Well, you can't fuck on the ceiling, but
I
maybe
mean, you can splatter some shit.
yeah, like blood, other bodily fluids.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. I think it's perfectly normal that you would offer them your bed because that's the polite thing to do.
Yeah, I think the brother is really weird, and then the parents are weird, and then what's up with the friends?
Yeah. What? Okay. First of all, this person needs new friends.
I
Because, like,
think the boyfriend is probably the only one that she's got in her life that seems like halfway sensible,
yeah.
right? And I think his was like, just pay the $55 because your family's weird, and like
Yeah.
they're being really weird, and you want them to stop unless you're cutting them off.
I mean, if you're not going to cut them off, pay it just so that they don't keep bringing it up because that
Mhm.
will get annoying, especially if it's one of those families that say don't let things like this go. And like every family event you go to, this gets brought up.
Mhm.
And like pay it so you can have some peace in your life because it's not just get them to shut up, it'll be peace for you
Yes.
because you'll like I said if it's one of these family that every time you have a family event or they've probably told other family members, then it's always going to get brought up. So do it so that there's peace for you, not to appease them.
Yeah. Like reading this though, I like assumed that the family must have been like really like religious or something, like a part of a culture where like there was something with like there was some type of culture, like cultural difference there that I just wasn't getting.
Hmm.
But then like the edit says there's like it's not, right? Like
Yeah.
that they're just like really uptight. And then they but the fact that they described them like sex to them when they were kids, when they were like doing the birds and the bees talk type of thing, as
Hmm.
something that's really, she said, unpleasant and nasty,
Yeah.
right? Like that's like really weird. And then the brother comes in and the way the mother's talking to her on the phone and everything, it all sounds like they're like as if it's like really unclean,
Hmm.
right? Like it's something that's like really dirty and like you have to like scrub yourself really clean afterward type of situation.
Hmm.
Like it's sex, it's not rolling in the mud.
It's sex. You're not doing like a mud run.
You're not like mucking the stalls in a stable.
And like, yes, sex is not always like clean because you're gonna get sweaty. You
Hmm.
know, there's gonna be like fluids and stuff, but like, you
Yeah.
don't need to do it as it's like an unclean act.
Like it's not something weird,
It's
but
not,
they're acting like it's the weirdest thing on the planet and that like all of a sudden how dare they? Like oh my
yeah,
god, offering her unclean mattress to her brother?
her
How
her
dare
non
she?
her non-virgin mattress.
Non-virgin mattress.
Yes.
Come on down to Bed Bath and Beyond where you can get your virgin mattresses.
You can get a virgin mattress for all your clean needs.
We got virgin mattresses on sale this weekend, only $19.99.
And no shipping and handling extra. Blah, 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 blah,
Hmm.
prices including that.
And no shipping and handling because they have not been handled. No,
They
they
have
will
not
not
been
be
handled.
handled.
How do you
No,
get the mattress into your apartment? Well, that's the
you
mystery.
got to do it yourself because we can't touch it and no one else can either.
Exactly.
It's a virgin.
It's
And then they play Madonna's like a virgin because they
virgin.
have to.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought that was the weirdest thing I had to. This is why, like, I read this and I was like, I'm gonna have to stretch the idea of a holiday just a little bit.
Just a tad. Just a tad.
Like, we're gonna have to go away from like December holidays
Hmm.
because I had to keep that one. That was it was a funny one,
Hmm.
right? Like it was just a little weird. I had to bring it up.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Hmm.
It's weird. Okay.
Hmm.
This one I figured it's close because we stayed in dorms.
Oh.
So I was an RA in college, and the dorm stayed open during Christmas break for the first time ever because so many of the students couldn't afford to go home. I volunteered for Christmas week because the other RAs would have had to cancel plane tickets and my family lived within driving distance. Christmas Eve
Mhm.
wound up being the duty shift from hell. There were
Ooh.
fights, a room was trashed, cops were called twice, the heater went out, and I did not get to sleep until 6:30 a.m.
Oh,
This sounds like a normal Saturday night in res.
yeah. And I want like full details. Like
Yeah.
the worst thing about those is that I want more. Like we've
Hmm.
got to make it up now. So now, Rachel, let's make these up. Let's flesh out this story.
Okay.
Okay, go from the beginning. So what was the first shit that went down for him?
So the
I
first,
assume it's a him, but it could be a she. Let's give it a him.
yeah. So
Let's
there
give
were
him a
fights.
name. What's his name?
Um, um, Charles.
Nathaniel.
Okay, Nathaniel.
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 Put
Okay.
Yeah, we put it together.
Yeah. Okay. So the first were fights.
He had two dads. One was Charles, one was Nathaniel, and they were like, "We need our ship name to be our baby name because they're
Yeah.
millennials."
No, they're
So
Gen
this
Z.
is in the
Don't
future.
you dare.
Okay, yeah, Gen
Don't
Z,
you
and then it's
dare
in the future.
throw us in with this nonsense.
We would do it.
Okay. They're like millennial or Gen Z parents, one of the
Hey,
two.
Renesmee
We don't talk
did a
about
thing. I'm gonna bring it up later.
that.
Don't you worry about it.
Okay, so the first
I got
thing
a
we're
story where someone fucking Renesmee in real life. Okay.
okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the first thing were fights, plural.
Okay. Fights. Okay,
Mhm.
then we got fights first, and then what?
A room was trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Cops were called twice,
Mm-hmm.
and the
That
heater
just
went.
it just makes sense. And the
Yeah,
heater went.
and the heater went out.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's in the wrong order.
Probably.
I feel like the heater went out first, and that's what really sparked the fights, right? Like it really like instigated people because like the heater went out, everybody's cold, and
Hmm.
it's Christmas Eve, and they're just like sad now, right? Like they're in res and they're by themselves and they wanted to go home, but they couldn't afford it, and
Hmm.
they're like trying to get drunk because like oh, sadness, right? And then like like the heater goes out
Hmm.
and they're freezing their asses off, and they're like, know what would make us warm? Whiskey,
Hmm.
right? Okay, your turn.
Okay, so then there's two roommates that don't really get along. They tolerate each other, but they're not
I
like
remember them.
they're not roommates that um you do things with. Like you don't go to dining hall with them, you don't hang out with them. Like you have your group of friends, they have their group of friends, but you tolerate each other, you know?
I bet Charthaniel knew that they were going to be problems for
Oh,
him
definitely.
tonight.
Because say through so it's like throughout the year there'd been like snarky passive aggressive remarks about a towel being on one person's side of
Mm.
the room, you know?
Mm-hmm. So like
Or
the
like
tension's always been building.
yeah, so the tension's been building and they have some whiskey in them and one of the roommates will call her Jill because it's going to be two girls because why not?
Mm-hmm. A girl
Jill,
fight. I like it.
it's a girl fight.
Mm-hmm.
Jill uh, accidentally ate Jessica's leftovers from the night before because you're drunk.
Ooh, J&J.
Yeah, because you're drunk.
J&J's kitchen.
J&J's kitchen was not a happy kitchen. Was one an Aries and the other a Virgo? We don't know.
There
Uh,
was a brawl in J&J's kitchen.
yeah. So she wanted some food, but she didn't have any because Jill ate all of her snacks already.
When you're
And
drunk, you want snacks.
exactly, Munch House,
Mm-hmm.
hell yes. Big Bite Pizza, absolutely. Subway, maybe, depending on your mood.
Yeah, it depends how drunk you are.
Depends on how drunk you are. So she wants some snacks, and They have a mini fridge in the middle of the room that they share.
Mm-hmm.
And she just
Yeah.
opened it and just grabbed the leftovers and ate them.
Mm.
And Jessica walked in on Jill eating them.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how the fight started.
Yeah.
So that was the first fight. So they got in the fight because Jill ate Jessica's food, and Jessica wanted to eat that because she saved it because she was getting drunk and high. And when you're drunk and high, you have
Oh,
extra munchies.
yes. So she was really craving
Yes.
some munchies.
And she had leftover Chinese food, which is just like chef's kiss.
Oh my, yes. You don't eat that on a person. How dare she? And
Don't.
was this after the power went out? Like the heat went out? Because I bet the whole power went out,
Yeah.
right?
So she was eating it cold, which is fine. Like
Yeah,
cold Chinese food is fine. I've eaten cold Chinese food. I'm not above that.
yeah. And I bet like the whole power went out. So like their whole fridge stock was like gonna be gone.
It just said the heater went out. So I guess depending
I'm
on.
saying the whole went out. I'm creative freedom. I'm
Okay.
saying the whole building's power went out.
Okay.
Who knows where else, but the power's gone completely.
Okay.
It's cold. I'm picturing it.
Okay.
So you know what? They're like, we got to eat everything in the fridge. So when Jessica who ate the food? I can't remember.
Jill ate the food.
Jill.
Yeah.
That bitch. So Jill's eating the Chinese food, and Jessica is like, oh my God, that's the one I wanted. I just got in this fucking room. Okay. I was out there drinking with my friends who are not your friends, Jill, because
Yeah.
you are a bitch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the first fight.
Yeah. And Jessica was specifically saving that Chinese food.
Yes. She was specifically saving it because she had planned to get drunk and high so she could eat the Chinese food.
Mm-hmm. And Charthaniel is going around monitoring as a good RA would do because he is good at his job.
Yes.
And he regrets that he chose to take this night.
Yes.
He thought, I'll have a nice quiet night. Christmas Eve, nobody wants to take it. I'm doing such a good thing, right? Like, I did this when everybody else had, like, nobody wanted to take it because they wanted to be with their families. Oh, I'm being such a good person. Oh my God, I'm so wonderful. And then, like, he's going around and he's, like, doing his job because he's a straight-laced guy, right? Charthaniel, so good. But then, like, this is happening.
Yes.
And he's down on another floor. He doesn't even know this is building yet.
No.
Right? It's brewing.
Yeah.
How does it end? How does it end?
Well, it starts as a yelling match. Like, are you eating is that my Chinese food?
Oh, of course. I can hear it.
I don't know. It was in the fridge. Yeah, but was it on my shelf?
Oh.
I don't know. Which one is your shelf? My shelf was the middle one. Was that on the middle shelf? Yeah, it was. Oh my God, you're eating my Chinese food? I can't believe you did this. You know what? You're such a fucking bitch. This is why I don't want to room with you because you do this all the time. You're so lazy, you're so loud, and it just like explodes from there.
And then things go flying. Chinese food, noodles everywhere.
So then, no, Jill goes, fine, you want your
everywhere.
Chinese food? And she shoves the curtain in Jessica's face.
Yes. Right in her face.
Yes. You want your Chinese food? Here's your fucking Chinese food. Shoves it right in her face. Noodles get in her hair. There's sweet and sour sauce that dripped onto her new shirt. Her new shirt?
Not the new shirt that her boyfriend gave her for Christmas.
White shirt?
White lace.
Yeah.
And like not the cheap kind, like that you get like for $10. It's like a $30 shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. It's from Envy.
Like
it's $40.
Her boyfriend's mom picked that out for her boyfriend to give her. Okay.
Her boyfriend doesn't know how to shop for ladies.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. Okay. He's like 21 and in a frat. Okay.
Yeah. I see it now. Yep.
Yeah.
And she thinks they're going to be together forever, but Chad is totally cheating on her.
Yes. With Jill.
And a bunch of other girls.
All starting with the name J.
Yeah. So then it turns into that. So then they start yelling, and she's like, "My boyfriend bought me this shirt." And then Jill pulls out the same shirt because Chad bought it for all of his bitches.
Ah! And then more things go flying.
Yeah.
Jill is like, you want this Chinese food? What else do you want? And what else is here in the fridge that's yours? And starts taking out everything in the fridge and starts throwing it at Jessica's face. So there's noodles going everywhere. There's carrot sticks and ranch flying everywhere.
There's hummus. Packs of hummus.
Hummus and non bread going everywhere. There's
Yogurt. Berries.
Yogurt. She's throwing individual grapes.
Yeah,
at
she's
Jessica.
Pelting Jessica with the grapes.
And Jessica is trying to dodge, weaving back and forth in the tiny little res room. And they're screaming bloody murder at each other. And then Jessica just starts, she's going to say, what I can do? I can throw something back at her.
Yeah.
So she takes bobby pins and starts throwing them at her like little darts.
Yeah.
At her. And stop it, and then throwing the grapes back. And Charthaniel comes into the middle of this screaming match of grapes and bobby pin darts.
Yeah, and he gets hit in the eye with a grape.
And it looks like a scene out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like arrows of bobby pins going, and little like cannonballs of grapes going back and forth. And there's like everybody from the floor is like gathered around watching, and they're like holding the door open to like really get a good like view and like cheering them on, right?
Yeah, because they can
like
hear
the guys are like, woo, 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 girl fight, right? Because they're idiots.
And he tries to like diffuse it, and Chad shows up. He's like, "Whoa, babe, you gotta slow down." And Jessica turns, and she's like, "You!" And they start yelling at Chad.
And then the three of them are in a fight that like becomes physical, and they're like tumbling around, and the police get called, and they all get taken away.
Yes. Exactly.
And where Charthaniel had been during the majority of the fight, had this brewing, he had been dealing with the police that had been there before with the ambulance, because like 5 people had been dealing with like alcohol poisoning, and one of them that had gone away in the ambulance, they had been like, what's your name? What year is it? And she'd been like 1989, and it's not. That's just a Taylor Swift album.
Yeah.
Sure. And they were like, lock her up.
They're like, oh, she's a Swiftie, psych ward.
Well, I wasn't going to say it because you don't like Taylor Swift. And I do, mostly. So, like, either they were like, she's really out of it, or they're really anti-Taylor Swift. Either way, they were like, we gotta lock this one up. But the rest of them were returned once they were fine.
Once they had their stomach pumped, they were fine.
Yeah. The one that said 1989, no one ever saw or heard from that girl ever again.
No.
And that's a story I heard from a friend of mine.
Yeah, it started with a friend of a friend of a friend of mine. Okay. And then
Charthaniel became a police officer.
Yeah, then Charthaniel collapses in his bed and is like, oh, bed.
At 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And then his alarm goes at 7. Okay, so I'll read another one. So it wasn't my family, thank God, but one of my friends. Her uncle got caught cheating at the dinner table when his phone buzzed and her aunt saw the incoming text. She started screaming and crying, throwing her dinner at him, etc. My
Was
friend
this
dared,
Chad?
I don't know. My friend dared to laugh. So then her aunt turned on her and started insulting her and telling her how she'd never get a man. So then the mom stands up and starts to yell, and the whole family gets involved. The aunt starts insult to everyone, calling them backstabbers and lowlifes, and then calls me an intruding bitch. I've never visited a friend over the holidays since.
Yeah. It sounds like a fun family dinner, though.
That would be very entertaining. What'd you do over Christmas? Well, let me tell ya.
That is that sounds like something out of a movie. Like that doesn't sound like real life.
Well, apparently it was.
Yeah. Or like a reality show,
I mean, the
right? Like
things that
that's
happened in
crazy.
my life sound like they could be a reality show, but here we are.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I still don't understand how they happen in your life.
Listen, I don't. You and me both.
You just explained a day at your office, and I was like, that sounds like an episode of The Bachelor. So I don't think you're like a good example.
Yep, I am a good example.
No, I just said I don't think you're a good example. Like I
Oh,
don't, as in do not. It's a
that's like
contraction.
everybody in 2020 was like, "Oh, my 2020 wasn't too bad." I was like, "Really? Your 2020 wasn't too bad?" You want to switch to this telenovela that is my life?
Yeah, the only difference for you is that it's in English.
Oh, I don't know, man. There were
I
subtitles.
don't know. It's in English.
There were subtitles, I think, like Korean subtitles for that whole thing, or Spanish
Huh?
one for that whole thing of 2020. For me, there was just subtitles probably somewhere.
I don't get that.
It's fine.
Okay. I don't get this one.
It's okay.
It went over my head.
It's okay. Okay. Let's read another one.
I'm going back and forth between the two that I have. Like which one is my finishing move, right?
Mhm,
Like which one's my middle and which one's my end?
mhm.
Do you want to hear about uh someone who Renez made in real life, or do you want to hear about um I can't do a spoiler for that because it's too much, but something that deals with a wedding, but it
Um,
has everything at the wedding, like everything in the story.
let's do the Renesmee one.
Okay, here we go. Renesmee in real life.
Mhm.
It's not called that, but that's what I call it.
Yeah.
So, I slept with my girlfriend's mom 2 years ago. I can't
I'm
tell her
sorry.
because so I'm gonna read the title again. I'm gonna need you to let me finish the title because it's like 2 sentences long, and
Okay.
I didn't finish it.
Oh, you didn't finish, did you?
I didn't finish, so
Mm.
please let me finish.
All right, if that's what you want.
Don't Kanye me.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best video of all time.
I mean, that's not the type of finishing I was thinking about, but okay.
I know, but I was bringing her back and around.
All right.
Yeah. I slept with my girlfriend's mom 2 years ago. I can't tell her because I know she'll dump me and it'll probably end her parents' marriage. Now you may talk.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
So now you know why I said Renesmee, because remember in Twilight, Breaking Dawn, where Jacob was all like, Bella, I love you. But then as soon as she had the baby, he was like, Renesmee.
You like imprinted on
Well,
the baby. Yep.
yes, he imprinted on the girlfriend, after he had sex with the mom. So, yeah, basically.
Okay.
Sort of the same thing. Just keep that in mind. Keep the Renesmeeing in real life in your
Okay.
mind as I tell you the story.
Okay.
Because by the end of the story, I was like, oh my god, he Renesmeed!
Okay.
So let me. This is So first of all, this is on Reddit, and it
Mhm.
was under the um kind of thread called "True Off My Chest,"
Okay. Yeah.
which is not a thread I was familiar with until I found this.
Okay.
So basically, just people trying to get like secrets off their chest type of thing.
Mhm.
So this is what the guy says.
Okay.
So let me first say, I'm not the one in the wrong for this, but I just have to say it somewhere. It's eating me alive. 2 years ago, when I was 19, I met this woman while I was working as a personal trainer. She was in her 40s and looked like a 25-year-old. So he's 21. She took an interest in me and invited me out a number of times, and we had sex a few times. We had a sex a few
We had
times.
a sex, just a single sex.
That was just me. I fucked it up. That's not what you wrote there. But I was like, we had a sex. We had the sex a few times.
We had a sex. It's a me, a Mario.
It's the me, a Mario.
It's a ho
I was
ho.
the plumber, and then I became Renesmee on this woman.
I was a plumber who checked your pipes.
And now I will clean the pipes.
Mhm.
Okay. After one of our meetups, she said it was wrong for someone of her age to be with me because I was too young and changed gyms. My girlfriend and I have been together for just under a year. So keep in mind, that was 2 years ago that he slept with the 40-year-old woman.
Mhm.
And then he's been with this girlfriend now for just under a year.
Mhm.
So she's amazing, the girlfriend is, and I love her so much. 2 months ago, I met her family for the first time, and it was a shock. Like, she took me to the house where I had hooked up with a woman, and I felt like I was being pranked. Before I see her mom, it hit me. I have a type, and they both fit that type, so it makes sense. I've been hooking up with a single mom, and I'm now with her daughter. Then her mom and dad pop out, and we've both almost shit ourselves. I meet her parents. They've been married for 20 years. I realize I had been a married woman's boy toy. I feel incredibly ashamed. Later that week, her mom finds my number and tells me that I can never speak of what happened. She says that my girlfriend will hate me forever because I'll be the one who broke up her parents. So now I'm stuck with this secret. She invited me to spend Thanksgiving with her family, and since my family is 1,000 miles away, and I already told her I don't have plans on going home for Thanksgiving, I don't really have an excuse not to go. So now I'm going to have to sit there at a table and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with the woman I had an affair with, her husband, and her daughter, who I'm now in love with. I'm fucked. So to get the timeline, I did have to go back and like read it to like figure it out, because he was not sleeping with the 40-year-old woman when he was with the girlfriend. So he was
Yeah.
working at the gym. He had sex with this woman a few times who he didn't know was married, and didn't know she didn't even know she had a daughter or anything like this.
Mhm.
He like slept with her at her house as well, right? Like he'd met with her at her house sometimes. So you pick that information once you look at it again. And that was like 2 years ago from this post.
Yeah.
He was 19 at the time and she was in her 40s.
Mhm.
So then a year later, after he'd been sleeping with the woman and like Missy had broke it off and everything, he meets a girl and starts dating her, and she's his age,
Mhm.
and falls in love with her, and they're dating, and then they're like been together for like almost a year. And then she's like, I want to introduce you to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Come on over to our house. And she brings them to the house that he slept with the 40-year-old woman with. Right? And he's like, I feel like I'm being pranked. What the fuck is happening? He
Mm-hmm.
goes in and he comes face to face with the woman and he's like, oh shit, I slept with her. Can't tell her. Uh-oh. Like, okay, so I've slept with her. Uh-oh, I've slept with both of these women. And then her husband comes around the thing and he's like, oh my god, she was married. I didn't know that. So now he's got all of this there. And all I'm thinking is Renez made, right? He slept with the woman, the older woman, and he was like, okay, that's not right. And then he meets the daughter and she's like, you're the one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he Renez made.
Okay. All right. I do
So I have
have
some thoughts.
some thoughts.
Okay.
So he said he's been to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't he have run into the daughter if she happened to be there when he was there?
He'd never met the daughter before, according
Okay.
to the post.
But like, if you think about it, he's going into a house. If he's like say he like goes into the hallway to go to the bathroom after they do the deed. Like if the daughter happened to be home and they cross paths in the hallway, like wouldn't he have met her already if she was home or if she showed up while they were like doing the deed?
Well, the daughter's around his age or possibly older. So, like, she probably didn't live there at the time,
Okay.
right? Because if he's 19 when he was hooking up with her,
Mhm.
daughters say probably around the same age, we're guessing. She's
Mhm.
probably moved out of the house. She probably doesn't live there. Also, why would she hook up with Buddy with her daughter in the house? She's obviously not going to hook up with him when her husband's in the house.
But
Why
what
would she be like, oh yeah, my husband's out, but my daughter's in the other room? You want to meet her before we fuck?
But this is what I'm saying. Like, how does he know? Because like, what if the dad came home one day on his lunch break and they were like doing the nasty? You know, it just seems very odd that they were like. But also, why didn't she tell him she was married?
Rachel, have you ever had an affair? Have you ever tried to keep it a secret and tried to not get caught? Done it successfully? You want to cut this out?
No, we can't keep this in, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Sometimes when people have affairs, they try not to get caught, and sometimes they're good at it,
Trust me, I know.
especially if she's fucking 19-year-old boys
You
and she's
know,
in her 40s. I doubt this was the first time. Also, he said he'd been to the house. He said that they'd had sex a few times.
but I guess.
Um,
Mm,
and hold on, when they said that, hold on, she took me to a house where I had hooked up with a woman. So he didn't say he'd been there multiple times. He might have only been there once,
okay.
right? Like she might have hooked up with him at the gym or at a hotel or at
Mm.
his place before, right? Like it doesn't say that like it was always at that place, right?
Oh,
So who knows where they were hooking up?
I was under the assumption that it was always at her place.
I think it would be risky as well, like a married woman to take your boy toys back to the house you share with your husband. I think you're probably going to hook up either in your car or at a hotel or at your boy toy's place or, you know, at the fucking gym, anywhere. Anywhere but the house you share with your fucking husband.
So here's the thing. I
If at all possible.
I had said person over to my place that I lived with my now ex.
Yes, and I know it gives people a rush and a thrill and all
No, it's
that,
not.
and convenience as well.
It wasn't so much for like the rush. It was more so the fact that for the first little bit, the other person was living with family,
Hmm.
which is, not really good,
Yeah.
especially if, because,
Yeah, so it was convenience.
and also I was very well aware of my ex's work schedule because it did not change.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's convenience and there's risk assessment whenever you do anything.
Yes.
Whenever you're like, no, I was gonna say break a law, but that's not right. Whenever you're gonna like break rules or break like promises or anything like that, right?
Because, like,
Whenever you're gonna do something like that.
yeah. Because, like, the first time it happened, he wanted to come inside the apartment. And I said no because my ex was going to be home very shortly.
Hmm.
And that would have been, oh, that would have been very bad. Would have been very bad.
Yeah.
Somebody would have gotten hurt.
You were like, you can come inside me, but not in the apartment.
But yes, I get so like
Sorry, couldn't resist.
it's fine. But like, yeah, it is one of those things. I guess if they weren't always going, because it just for some reason my brain was like, oh, they're going over to her house to do it because like she, I guess she is a, I guess she doesn't work or something, or works weird shifts compared to her husband, and she knows her husband's not home and he's not going to show up home. But yeah, I guess if they're like in his car in the parking lot of the gym or at his place, as long as he doesn't have roommates, like
Yeah. But if she's trying to keep also the secret that she's married,
yeah,
people that are trying to keep that secret and like she's not doesn't want the person she's hooking up with to know that she's married, like she's taken her ring off to
mm-hmm,
go and hook up with someone and then she's going to bring them back to her house,
mm,
right? Like just in general, like not even this person, but like if you're going to take your ring off to have an affair, you're probably not going to bring them back to your house where you have pictures around
mm-hmm,
of you and your spouse together, you and your spouse together on your wedding day, right? Like that will tip off the person you're having an affair with that, hey,
mm.
you're probably married. They're like, who's that person in the picture? And it's like, oh, yeah, don't look at the pictures. I
Yeah.
can't, I'm going to bring you in the house, but I'm going to blindfold you the whole way
Listen, he
on
might
the
be
way in and out.
into that.
Yeah, if they're into that. But like, if you do that every time, they're probably going to get suspicious.
I think it's shitty because it puts the boyfriend in a really awkward position.
Yeah.
Because, like, if he sees this as somebody, like the girlfriend, if he sees that as somebody that's going to be like a long term thing, he's going to have to always seeing the mom, and he's always going to be like reminded of the fact that he has slept with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And at what point is that going to just be too much for him, Like at some point, even if you are keeping things secret, there does get to a point where you do feel guilty about it.
Yeah. And
Cuz
I
like
think by like the way the post is written, I
mhm,
don't think he's like put off by the fact that it happened, like in the sense that he feels he needs to break up with his girlfriend.
mhm,
I think he's more like upset that he's got to keep this secret.
Mhm.
And if he tells her, he's afraid he'll lose the girlfriend
Yeah.
that he's in love with. But if he doesn't tell her, he's got this secret that's eating at him that he feels like he's supposed to tell her.
Mhm.
And like, it's like he's got guilt
Yeah.
that he should tell her. But like, I don't feel like he thinks it's something that needs to break them up on his
No,
side.
because no, so like when I told my ex that I had cheated on him, I only told
Hmm.
him about the one time.
Hmm.
But I told him, I didn't tell him right away. I told him a few months after it happened because we got into a fight one night and I kind of was just like, he was like, "What is wrong? Like, there's something wrong." So I came clean and I told him, I said, "Listen, you know how I told you that only this happened? I lied. This is what actually happened."
Hmm.
So, like, he was upset, obviously, but he was also glad that I waited to tell him because if I had told him in the moment, like when it first
Hmm.
happened, like, he's like, I probably would have, he would have been very upset. And he's like, we probably would have like broken up, whatever. So he's like, okay, so you told me this. Have you done it since then? I told him, no, that was a lie. But,
Hmm.
I was like, no, we haven't done it. It was just the one time. And he's like, okay, like, as long as you're not talking to him, also a lie. I was not happy in that relationship, but, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
He's like, as long as you're not talking to him and you're not doing this, like we can work through this. But at that point, like in my mind, the damage had been done because there's some stuff that my ex did that I'm not gonna get into. But
Hmm.
like in my mind, the damage had been done. I no longer had these feelings for him anymore. But I also
Yeah.
felt like I couldn't leave because I was working a minimum wage job and couldn't afford. So I felt very trapped.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this situation he feels trapped because like he probably wants to tell her and be like, hey, by the way, like this was before I met you, your
Yeah.
mom's a client, I slept with her, but I can see that he's like, you know
Hmm.
is shitty.
Yeah. Because it's like he didn't cheat,
No, he didn't cheat. This is the thing,
right?
he was single, he didn't cheat.
He
It
didn't
was
cheat, and he had no idea that the
Yeah.
mom was married, right? Right? And it's all happened before he met her. But
Hmm.
now, like, the fact that he's not telling her after he's aware of the situation,
Hmm.
that's now kind of a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's where it becomes a lie
Yeah.
and a breach of trust in the relationship to me.
Yeah.
But I
I
understand why he's like, I got to keep the secret because, like, do I blow up her parents' relationship and my own, right? And he's like afraid to lose her.
hmm
So it's really fucked up situation.
it's
And the
just
mom is the asshole, in
oh,
my opinion.
absolutely. If this was an am I the asshole, the mom is the asshole because like
Yeah, if it
he
was.
she fully knew that she was going into this married. And like she
Hmm.
knew that, I mean, yes, she cut it off because she's like, oh, she didn't cut it off because she felt guilty. She cut it off because she felt weird about the age gap.
Yes.
Like
And then
it'd be
change gyms and everything, right? Like she's like, oh, you're too young, and changes gyms.
yeah, like okay, it'd be different say if she felt guilty because she was married and cut it off. I can see why she'd be like, don't tell my husband or whatever. But the fact that she cut it off because she's just like, oh, you're too young for me. Like you knew how old he was when you started to sleep with him. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. And like
I mean, to
I
be
don't think
fair though, we don't have her side of the story,
yeah.
right? It is written by the boyfriend.
Hmm.
So it like she might have just told him it's because he's too young. It
Hmm.
could be that she broke it off because she was married or felt guilty. Who
Hmm.
knows? Maybe it could be she broke it off because she got caught,
Possibly, yeah.
right? Like obviously the father doesn't know that it was this guy because if if she got caught, the father knew it was this guy, and then this guy gets brought home by the daughter, he'd be dead.
I'm gonna be dead.
He wouldn't be able to write his post.
No, he'd be dead.
The dad would have killed him by now.
Yes. But, that's true. Maybe he did find out because maybe if they were going to like hotels or whatever and he noticed all these weird hotel charges on the credit card,
Hmm.
or, maybe she came home one day and she had a different smell of cologne on her.
And I mean, like, was this probably wasn't the first person she cheated with?
Hmm.
Because I mean, do you think she really cheated on her husband with a 19-year-old straight out the gate?
Definitely not.
I like maybe, but I don't feel like it was.
Like, it's possible, but I also feel like the fact that she was very into him right off the bat, it's
Hmm.
probably she probably has done it before with like that
Hmm.
same age group of men. Maybe
Yeah,
just in the personal trainers.
maybe. Maybe she's just like a cougar.
Yeah. She's like, I'll be your sugar mama. But indirectly, it's my husband's money, so he's your sugar daddy. I'm just the sugar bank.
He's paying for our fare.
He's paying for this hotel room.
He pays for my extracurricular activities,
Wink.
extramarital activities. Oh,
Yeah.
we do need to move on to another one, though.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I have one more, and you've got some more too.
Yeah, I've got one. I got another. It's a family one. All of these are a lot of family related ones.
Yeah, well, that's holiday stuff. Holidays are, a lot about family.
Hmm. Okay. So, growing up, we always went to my aunt and uncle's house for Christmas Eve dinner. It was usually a full house of about 35 people or more, all family. One Christmas Eve, we were all sitting down to dinner when my Aunt L, whose house it was, got into an argument with her sister, Aunt R. It escalated to the point where they were screaming at each other, and my sister, cousins, and I were being herded into the basement to go play or something. It ended with my other aunt, M, yelling that she was sick of the family drama and it was time to come clean. You're not ready for this.
Hold on. Not ready.
You're not ready. She announced that my oldest cousin was not the biological daughter of Aunt L, but was actually R's child.
Oh,
Apparently, when R got pregnant, she was too young and irresponsible to raise her, so L stepped in and took over.
okay.
You could have heard a pin drop in the moment.
And she just like announced this.
She just announced it.
She's like, "Hey, I'm so glad you're all here for the holidays. This is a great time to announce this."
No, she literally, the aunt who announced it was like, I'm tired of all this bullshit. This person is not this person's daughter.
This is the Maury shit, he
I
said.
told you, this is the Maury shit.
Did she like pull it out of an envelope, I wonder?
She probably had an envelope for dramatic effect.
She has an envelope and a microphone.
Yeah.
Like she's announcing a winner at an award show.
Yeah. But she
Oh
was
my god.
person is not Aunt L's daughter, it's Aunt R's daughter.
But who's the father?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Could be anybody, depends on how young.
Uncle Jin Bob.
Uncle Jamie.
They were both sleeping with him.
The scandal.
It was a sister wife situation.
It was. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I can just picture it.
Yeah.
Like everybody's over. It's like a Christmas dinner situation. They're like, no, I just have to announce this.
No, there's a fight
I'm
that
done with
started.
all this.
There's a fight that started between the two aunts, L and R, probably being like, "You're raising her wrong, or you can't tell her to do this." Okay, so here's what I'm picturing happened. This is what happened in my
Okay.
mind because we don't get so the daughter in question, the cousin, went up to Aunt L, who she thinks is her mom.
Okay, let's give them names because it's too confusing
Okay,
without it.
so she went up to Aunt Linda,
Mm-hmm.
who she thinks is her mom. The cousin's name is Mary. She went up to Aunt Linda and said, "Mom, can I have a cookie?" And Linda said, "No, we're going to eat dinner soon." So then
Mm-hmm.
Mary got all sooky and left. And the
Yeah.
other Aunt Rachel, we'll just call her Aunt Rachel because why not? She was like, "Oh no, she can have a cookie. Like she should be able to have a cookie. That's fine. It's not gonna one cookie is not gonna ruin your
And
dinner."
who is supposed to be Mary's mom? Like
Mary's
who everybody thought Mary's mom was.
Linda.
Okay.
So Rachel says, "Oh, she can have like you can have a cookie, dear. It's not going to ruin your dinner." And Linda's like, "Are you undermining my parenting? Are you trying to,
Right?
like, are you trying to undermine my parenting?" And Rachel's like, "No, I just don't think like one cookie's going to do that much damage." And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, so now," and says, so she makes a comment like, "Oh, so now you're trying to be a mom."
No.
So she makes that type of comment, and Rachel's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" She's like, "You know exactly what that's supposed to mean." So they get into a fight. And then Aunt M, who we're going to call Marjorie, she hears them
Name
arguing, and she goes, "You know what? That's it. I'm tired of this bullshit. Everybody, Mary is not Linda's daughter." And everybody stops. And she goes, "Mary is Rachel's daughter. Rachel was too young and stupid when she had her to take care of her."
And Marjorie pulls out the test results.
And
She's like, I've had them here and I've brought them to every family function since the
no, she
birth of Mary.
pulls out the real birth certificate. Has Rachel's name on it.
And they're like, where did you get that? Linda's like, I thought that I had that at home for safekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
And Marjorie's like, I have had this the whole time.
I've had this for the last 14 years because I'm
I
sick
have
of
been
your bullshit.
prepared. Every family function, I bring this.
Because you two always get into it.
I also have Maury Povich on speed dial
Mm-hmm.
and Dr. Phil on line 2.
Yep. And I've got Steve. I want to say Irwin, but that's not the one. Harvey.
Harvey.
No, not Harvey. He does lie detector test. Wilco's.
Steve
That's what it is.
Irwin. Is Steve Irwin the crocodile guy?
Yes, he is. R.I.P.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't he not alive
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah. No, he very dead. He's been dead for a while.
We've got him on the Ouija board,
Yeah.
ready to figure this out.
Steve Wilkos is the one who does lie detector tests. He'll do it and be like, the results say, like, did you
That
or
Mary prefers Rachel's parenting. She wants a cookie.
yes. So that's kind of,
And
I think, what happened. Okay. I'm going to read this last one and get into yours. So, the year was 2012.
the Mayans were right.
Yes.
It all ended.
They were.
This
It
has been
ended.
a simulation ever since.
It ended for this family, anyways. We're just in a Sims game, which whoever's controlling me, what the fuck?
Who's ever controlling me, you pick the worst stats, okay? Like, I need power-ups, please.
Where's our hacks so we can have money?
Yeah, come on.
So,
Money.
the year was 2012. My family had reached a boiling point that year. My brother had been kicked out of the army.
Mm.
I was a 17-year-old stoner about to drop out of school.
Mm-hmm.
My parents' marriage was a shit show and almost ripe for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister was over from the US for the holidays. You can imagine the mood was already bad enough. In the middle of Christmas dinner, the doorbell rings.
Who's at the door?
Who the fuck disturbs a family on Christmas night, you ask?
Santa?
If only. Without
Maury Povich.
It's Maury Povich. It's Dr. Phil. He wants to send everybody to the
Steve
ramp.
Irwin.
Steve Irwin's ghost. Steve Harvey's there.
Steve Wilkos.
Wilkos is there.
Wilkos.
Okay. Without hesitation, my brother gets up from the table and disappears for several minutes. My father.
He said, sorry. He said minutes, and I heard decades. It has, like, I thought you were going to say decades. I don't know why.
Minutes.
It has,
Minutes.
I don't know why. I'm losing my mind, Rachel.
Okay. So.
And just goes to answer the door. Never seen from again. He just
My
disappeared.
father, after a few moments of broiling in his own emotion and changing his face color to all shades of red, gets up ready to shit on the unknown visitor and finds my brother dealing weed to him
Shit on him.
on Christmas night.
It's a weird family tradition. Just go defecate on them.
Yes.
I'm taking it literally.
I've noticed, yes. So, little did we know that if my brother hadn't gotten up from the table and ensured my father would drive off for hours afterwards, my father would have told us of his year-long affair that night. That, as well
Maury Povich should have been there.
That, as well as the child he was about to have with his mistress, and that he was planning on leaving the family. So my idiot brother actually saved Christmas by dealing drugs. My father didn't end up telling us around New Year's.
Oh, see, I love a good heartwarming story.
The brother who saved Christmas.
The drug dealer who saved Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not as catchy a title as The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, but
No.
the drug dealer who saved Christmas.
Yeah, the drug dealer who got stoned and saved Christmas.
Yeah. The weed dealer who saved Christmas.
There we go. That has a better.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, for optics, you know?
Yeah.
You know, good on him.
Mm-hmm.
You did a good deed that day.
He did.
Yeah. And fuck you, Daddy.
Yeah, really though. Your dad sucks.
Oh my. What else do you have to say about that one, anyway?
No, I just think it's pretty shitty that the dad was going to tell them on Christmas that he was leaving them. Like, at least wait till after or do it before.
Yeah, I forgot that part at all. He's like, now, family, I've gathered you all together here. And they're like, Dad, it's Christmas. We gathered together for Jesus Christ's birthday.
We're gathered
You
for
know,
our Lord and
for
Savior,
turkey.
Charles Darwin.
Our Lord and Savior, Charles Darwin.
So I made that reference at work, the Charles Darwin one, and my
Yeah.
coworker who listens to the podcast, hey Melinda, when you listen to this,
Hi, Melinda.
I
often get called Melinda at work, even though my name's on the door.
Yeah.
And it's Melanie D. Flynn in the office.
It happens, you know.
It annoys me.
Yeah. So anyways, I made that reference and I looked at her and I went, that's a reference from a podcast episode. You're going to have to listen to find out which one, and you can't skip ahead. And she was like, ooh, I love playing this game. Are you going to make obscure references from now on? I was like, maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, has that one come out yet?
Yeah, that one's out. The Charles Darwin.
When you said that to her?
Yeah, that one's out.
Yeah.
That one's been out for a while, so she's not caught up yet, so she hasn't heard the Charles Darwin reference.
Yeah.
But if you've been listening, listeners, then you know which episode my Charles Darwin reference is in.
I don't.
I don't remember.
We were there, but I don't remember.
We were in there and we don't remember. I don't remember 5 minutes ago.
I don't remember right now.
Exactly. Who are you?
I'm in migraine drunk brain right now. I don't know what's going on.
It's fine.
Yeah. So the father's there and he's like, I've gathered you all together here. So it's some very important news. And they're like, Dad, it's Christmas. We're here to celebrate Christmas.
Mhm.
You know, Jesus, like he died on the cross like months from now, but like right now he's like born and like he's a star, And there's like, and they're all like, oh, like gifts to him and stuff. And then we exchange gifts and like Santa comes down and he's like, hey, I got you gifts and shit. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's all that stuff going on. Like any of that make any sense to you, Dad? You remember any of that? Or were you just like, it's like the clouds of the weed smoke getting to your head, Dad? Right? He's like, no, children, gather around, children, gather around. I'm leaving your mother for a yoga instructor. She's very bendy.
That's how I got her pregnant.
Yeah. She bent over and then whoops.
Whoops.
I just fell right in.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. It's the game we play.
Reminds me of that quote from SVU with Olivia Benson. He's like, "Oh yeah, I tried to help her with your penis.
I just trying to help her up with your penis.
With your penis."
Yeah. The sassiest episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, you just like bend right over and then whoops. We like to play that game. You call it hiding Pedro. Yeah.
Played Find the Sausage.
No, we know where the sausage is. We like to hide it though. And then we find it again, so I don't have object permanence. So I'm like, oh, where'd it go?
I misplaced my penis.
It's like peekaboo, right? Like as soon as it's out of my sight, I'm like, oh my god, it's gone. And then it comes back though.
Peekaboo with the dick. Peekaboo, I see you.
Can you imagine though? If we did have like the object permanence thing.
Yeah, of a toddler.
Because you've done psychology now.
There.
Right? You've done those psychology classes.
Yeah.
Where like toddlers don't have object permanence.
Yeah.
So like that's why they're like peekaboo. So when you put your hands over your face, they legit think you've disappeared. Like you've done the best magic trick ever. Like you are out of existence. So if someone really didn't have object permanence, some guy, so intercourse, so he puts his dick in someone and then he thinks it's gone. It's just completely gone.
Oh, where'd it go? And he pulls out, oh, there it is. Okay, thank God, I thought I lost it.
So he's just playing peekaboo with his dick, but like he thinks it's like been like cut off every time he puts it in. So he's like playing peekaboo with himself. He's just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh. like, I have a very unique set of skills.
I can make my penis disappear.
I can make my penis disappear.
And then I can bring it back.
And I think he's like using that as a pickup line. They're like, "Oh, you're so funny." And
And
then
he's like, no.
he's like, "No."
Mhm.
He's like, "I
When I put
literally."
it in you, it disappears, it comes off. And then, when I move it back, it regrows.
I don't know how it happens, and nobody has the heart to
Lizards,
tell
when you
him.
cut off their leg and it regrows, but it's instant.
Nobody has the heart to tell him because they're all like, "Oh, sweet summer child, you're so innocent."
And they're like, you're joking, right? You're joking. You're joking, right? You're joking. Oh, God.
And just because they're
He's not
curious, they're like, "Yeah, okay, sure." They like actually hook up with him, and sure enough, he does the whole like, "Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is."
But he's doing it like you would do, like, peekaboo with a baby.
Yeah.
But it's like his face. He's like, oh, ah, you, ah, you.
It's like she goes to give him a blowjob, and he looks down at her. Where'd it go?
He's like, you bit my dick off.
Hit my dick.
You promised you wouldn't swallow it.
You said you didn't swallow.
You said you wouldn't use teeth. And then he's like convinced she's a cannibal or something.
Yep.
Because she's just like eating 5 of his dick or something. Because it keeps regrowing, right? Okay, I know this is great comedy, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like this could also make a great horror story.
Would be yes, it
With
would.
just like take out the comedy part, and this becomes like a really horrific short story.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have another one?
I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've got one, and it's just as fucking deranged.
Okay.
So, am I the asshole?
Okay.
And it's am I the asshole for not attending my sister's wedding since my husband is not invited? And before before I read it, I would just like to tell you that I read this one even though it's not a holiday per se, but I had to include it because it has everything that holidays that really exude, right? Because there's family drama,
Mm-hmm.
there's kinks, there's kink shaming,
Mm-hmm.
there's and shit and all of that stuff, and there's there's the holiday shit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue it anymore, but families not agreeing to things and all of that happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? Fighting, public displays of affection
Mm-hmm.
or something of the sort.
Mm-hmm.
Possible public humiliation, which often happens at holiday family events,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this holiday, I mean, this wedding could be on a holiday. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You're just saying, so I know you're just like sort of condoning my behavior, but I think this is worth doing, and you couldn't stop me. So here it is.
No, I couldn't stop you.
And you know what? Our Lord and Savior, Charles Darwin, hasn't killed me yet. So
He has not.
he has let me put this in.
Yes.
Hail thee, Lord and Savior Charles Darwin. blessed be thou name. Okay? That's
Amen.
how you address him.
Okay.
Okay. It says, let me start by saying I do understand my husband's behavior is inappropriate. But like all of us, he's not perfect, and I took vows to him to stand by him and accept him as a whole person, including his flaws. Overall, he's a good husband, and I love him despite his one issue. So my husband has a kink for urinating on himself in public.
I've read
I
this
think
one.
you did?
I've read this one, yep.
I think it's the humiliation aspect that gets him off. So sometimes, not every time, we get together with my family, he will pee his pants. But overall, it's not really that disruptive. You know, as one does. He just stands up and says something like, "Oh no, I peed myself." He goes to the bathroom and changes. I always bring a change of pants and underwear for him in case this happens. And when he gets back, we just move and don't talk about it. As one does, apparently.
Apparently.
Apparently. Of course, we don't want people to know my husband is doing this for a kink. So we've told people he has a medical condition that causes him to not have full control of his bladder. I told them the reason he doesn't wear adult diapers is that he's ashamed of needing diapers at his age. So he's basically in denial that he needs them and refuses to wear them. Well, now my sister is getting married, and she's saying my husband can't come because she doesn't want him disrupting the wedding by peeing his pants. I told her it was unfair to exclude him over a medical condition he can't help, which is true as far as she knows. But she said it's his own choice to refuse to wear adult diapers, so it is his fault. I told her it's her wedding and she can invite who she wants, but if my husband isn't invited, I'm not coming, and neither is he. Because, you know, the
Just the way you read it seemed like a ad for a commercial.
king. That's why I'm reading it that way. He loves my family, and I know it really hurts him to be excluded from the wedding, just because kink he can't help having.
Mm-hmm.
He can't help it. Did you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's been crying and saying he feels disgusting for having this kink, but that he can't control himself, and now my family doesn't even want him around. I know it would really hurt him if I just left him home and went to the wedding by myself. He told me it's not my choice to go. Hip, 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 hip. Hold on. He told me it's
Hang
my
on.
choice to go if I want and that he won't be mad, but I know he'd be really sad if I went. I love my sister and family, but my husband is my life partner, so he's always my number one priority above anyone else. I believe I should stand by him and support him rather than choosing my family over him. So I told my sister I won't make it to the wedding, and now she's extremely angry with me, saying I'm a bad sister because I won't be there to support her. She's marrying a woman, so she's also said it makes it look like I'm homophobic if I don't show up to
Ooh.
support their union. I told her I'd love to come if my husband is invited, but she said she can't stand the thought of him disrupting the ceremony or reception by peeing his pants and announcing it. I told her how much it hurts my husband that he's excluded, but she doesn't care. I said fine, but that means I can't come, but she won't let it go and keep starting fights saying I'm a bad sister. I do feel bad that it hurts her that I won't be there. So, is she the asshole because she won't go to the sister's wedding?
Hmm.
Thoughts? Just keep in mind, and I would like to just go over it again for one thing, because one thing that I really like, not that I like it, just that I like that she made sure to put in exactly what her husband says, is that he stands up in front of everyone after he's peed his pants and goes, "Oh no, I've peed my pants. I've peed myself," and then walks out of the room to change.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
And that he's done this at so many family events that they are now saying he's being excluded from the wedding. So it's become a pattern.
Okay. I get. Listen, everybody has their thing. I'm not here to.
Call it what it is. It's a kink.
I'm not here to kink shame.
Mm-hmm.
However, the fact that he feels like he can't control it isn't. I feel like there's a deeper underlying issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, some people have, some people have kinks where they like being pissed on and they like the humiliation behind a lot of things, like, but I think I'm being very careful because I don't want, I'm just trying to choose my words carefully. I think that there's, most people recognize that there is a time and a place to kind of let these things be free. And the other issue is the fact that he announces it. Like,
Go
if,
ahead.
like, even if it was like, an elder person or a kid or something who like pees themselves because they're being potty trained or whatever, you're not going to be like, oh, little Johnny peed his pants, we gotta go change him now. Like, the fact that he
Like,
gets up and is like,
anybody that would do that to someone that just peed their pants would be like really cruel, right? Like they're humiliating them on purpose, and
yeah.
that's
So,
fucked up.
and if the humiliation is part of the kink and that's why he's saying, like, I peed my pants, but like,
I think the humiliation is what gets him off.
I think it is. And the fact that there's other things you can do to humiliate yourself. If that's
Yeah, but it's got to be the piss and the humiliation at the same time, like both of
Mm,
it. Piss, humiliation, public, right?
yeah.
All of it all of it together, wrapped up, because he repeats the
He repeats the
scenario.
pattern, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like his the thing that gets him off the most probably
Yeah.
is the
Yeah. But to me, the problem isn't having a kink.
no.
The problem is when you force other people to participate in your kink
Yes.
unwillingly,
Yes.
right? I don't kink shame.
No.
Everybody, whatever you're into, do your thing, right? As
Mhm.
long as it doesn't hurt other people
Yes.
unwillingly,
Mhm.
right? If people are into pain and shit, go ahead. If you want to take that literally, go ahead. I don't want to be into the shit and stuff. So, no,
Mm,
I don't want to see it. And like, don't bring people into things unwillingly,
exactly.
right? My problem with what he does is that, like, and okay, I'm gonna just take a clear stance on this. Uh, to me, only place you should be pissing is in the toilet, or okay, if you're peeing in the shower, okay,
Yeah.
or like a pool, okay, but
Or
like
like,
not in the
I
public.
understand sometimes if you're drunk and you have to pee on the side, like, that's fine. Like, but I agree with you. The fact that he's like bringing other people in. The thing is also he's bringing people in unwillingly, but they don't know that it's a kink. So now they think he's got some medical condition.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I get the sister's point of view because if, say, he pisses himself during the ceremony
And he keeps announcing it.
and he gets up and say people think he's going to object or something, because that would be an issue.
Yeah, and he's gonna draw attention to it and announce, "Oh no, I've peed myself,"
Yeah. And
and
then,
walk away again, right? And disrupt the ceremony.
yeah. And everybody would be like, what? just happened.
right? They're going to remember that from the ceremony. They're not going to remember, oh, wow, that was beautiful flowers. Oh, she looked beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful music. Oh, what was that? Oh, they had such great whatever. I don't know.
Oh, the
I don't
vows
like
were so
weddings, so
beautiful. Look at their first dance, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, they're not gonna like, oh, they're if say if both of the brides wear dresses, like my cousin and her wife did, they both wore wedding dresses. They might be like, oh, they both look so beautiful in their dress. Or if one's wearing a suit and the other one's wearing a dress, they might be like, oh, they look so beautiful and handsome. And but yeah, he's gonna take away from
mhm.
it and like she's not being a bridezilla about it. She's just kind of like, I don't want him to take the tension away because hypothetically, in a perfect
Yeah.
world, you only get married once.
Yeah, and I think, like, the wife is being too
She enables
much.
him. She really does.
Yeah, like, I get if she's like, she's not gonna go to the ceremony if her husband's not invited,
Hmm.
but I get that, like, if your husband's not gonna be invited and you like, that is an uncomfortable situation, like, if we're not dealing with this whole piss kink thing,
Hmm.
like, in public,
Hmm.
disrupting a wedding, if your partner's not invited to a family event,
Hmm.
that's weird,
Hmm.
right? Like, that's, like, snubbed in some way, right?
Yeah.
So, but he it has been disrupting family events
Yeah.
as a pattern now, right? So something has to be done, and I feel like the sister probably like, we don't see it in the post, but I would assume the sister has probably taken other steps, like, "Hey, can he wear diapers? Can he do something else? Can he not announce it publicly?"
Yeah.
Constantly, like, disrupt the ceremony,
Hmm.
like, to try to do something before saying, "Hey, no, he just can't come," because like, that is a drastic step to get to, but, like, this might be, the he might have been doing this for, like, 4 years, and they're like, "Okay, but we can't have this anymore. This is the last straw."
Well, that's the thing. We don't know, like, that's the thing. Maybe he did it at another big event and everybody was like really awkward about it. And,
Mhm,
you know, obviously, if the thing about a wedding is that it's not just family that are there, there's going to be friends there that don't know the husband
mhm,
and don't know the family. And, like, say if he does that, they're going to talk
yeah.
and they're going to be like, oh my God,
There's gonna be pictures,
yeah,
and the wife keeps bringing clothes for him to change.
she enables him.
She's prepped.
Yeah.
She's expecting him to do this.
Hmm.
So, like, she's gonna be like, have a suit for him to wear at the ceremony, but, like, buy an extra set of pants.
Hmm.
Or, like, how many sets of pants is she bringing to
Oh my
each
God.
place?
Well, that's the
Is she
thing.
gonna be like, "Oh, it's like a 4-hour event? Oh, yeah, we're gonna need 3 extra pairs of pants."
But here's the thing, so that's another question. How often does he piss himself at events? Is it once? Is it twice? Like, you know?
Yeah, is it, like, once per event? Or is
Yeah.
it, like, every hour the event is up, he's going?
But also, if you're pissing that much, there's probably something wrong with you. Medically wrong with you if you're pissing that
Yeah,
much.
I mean, if you pee a lot, sometimes it's a sign of diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like or he could just be, like, chugging a lot of water and stuff. He's just, like, prepped, like, he's ready.
But he said he can't control it. So how would he be if he's like
It
prepping
it
for it
might
then?
not be I'm thinking it's, like, not controlling in the pissing part,
Oh,
like, not like incontinence,
yeah.
but can't control the urge to
Okay.
have that, sexual desire, is
Mhm.
what I'm thinking, is the context
Okay.
behind that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I took it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense that he feels like he can't control
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
But I'd say they're pitching it to, or like the wife is pitching it to her sister and the family as, oh, he can't control it, like he can't control his bladder
Well, she said,
medically to
yeah,
other people.
she said she's basically told them, like, oh, no, he's got a medical condition
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to wear diapers.
But think about it. A lot of, man, it's just gross. But like a lot of piss kink stuff is like about bladder control,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's about when you piss and where you piss.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that says you have control over your bladder,
Yes.
not that your bladder's out of control,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So just trying to logic it
Mm-hmm.
without having to research things I don't want to know about.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
really want to have that show up because my FBI agent will be like, interesting.
your FBI agent.
We all have FBI agents that watch us, okay? They check
This
our
is one.
we just have the one. They check our search history, you know.
There's like one assigned to you.
Exactly. You have one assigned, I have one assigned, my sister has one assigned, everybody has one assigned.
The one I have assigned to me is like the search history stuff that they have to look through. Oh dear God.
No, the
Especially when
one
I'm
that
like researching shit
no,
for like when I'm writing.
here's the thing. You had one and then he asked to be switched because he couldn't handle what you were searching. So they got some like veteran one that's what like I've seen worse, you know, like somebody like that who's like I've seen worse.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Uh, I did have to do some weird kink research type of thing. Not really kink actually. It's more like uh is it sexual sadism or
Yeah.
more like uh, research into like sadism and sadomasochism type of stuff
Mhm.
for a character I'm writing. Like
Um,
a killer
yeah.
that I'm writing
Yeah.
at the moment. And he gets real excited about doing damage. And because I have a psychic detective, she can experience it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so it's icky sometimes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I have a
So
book.
I
One of the
gotta
books
look
I
up
read
some
this
stuff.
year is about somebody that gets off on certain things. His thing,
Yeah.
his thing in the book is he paralyzes his victims so they feel helpless.
Mm.
So he knows where to stick. He does it with like a knitting needle type thing. He knows where to stick it in their cervical spine to paralyze them so they can't move.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's gotta lead to some fucked up history for that author too. For like how to like where in the spine do you put a knitting needle to to paralyze someone?
Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep.
The weird search history that I had for researching the toy maker for like all the drugs that the killer would have used and
Mhm.
like the medical side of things. Oh
Mhm.
God, it was bad. I read some research papers, looked into some weird shit. Oh my God, the FBI. If they looked at me. Ooh,
Definitely did.
it was bad.
Okay. I don't really want to end on that one because that's very like ugh, to end on. So I'm
Why?
gonna find.
It was too icky for you, Rachel?
I don't want to end on something icky, not especially with our last episode for the holiday. Let's end on a lighter note.
Okay, we'll find something
I have one.
to giggle.
I have one that will make us giggle.
Okay, give me a giggle.
All right. My
Give
grandmother
me a
went.
G.
Give
Give
me
me
a,
a I.
give me a
Like
G.
we're gonna spell giggle.
Okay.
I just spelled GI, so GI Joe. Yay!
Joe. Okay. GI track.
GI issues. Woo!
Woo.
Got
Okay.
him.
Woo. Um, my grandmother went out to the garage to smoke after Christmas dinner and intentionally slammed her arm in the car door, breaking her wrist in the process. Why? She wanted to
Yeah.
see she wanted to see if her pain medication was working.
Smoking.
I don't know what she's smoking.
Pain medication working?
Yeah, she wanted to see if her pain medication was working.
Like questions. Okay, I have many questions. First
Okay.
of all, what was she smoking? Second of
It
all, was the
doesn't
pain medication working? Third of all, putting that stuff together, apparently, did that make her want to go, ooh, I bet I'm the bionic woman and indestructible and like can take that?
that's the thing. I want to know the thought process that what led her to look at the car door and go, wonder if my pain medication's working. Let's test this.
Yeah, I think she was like puff puff passing, but
Mm,
she didn't have anyone to pass to, so she was just like puff puff. Uh, oh, more puff puff for me,
hmm
and did got a little too high, and then she was like, I can't feel my face or my arms. Is my pain medication working?
hmm
How am I gonna figure this out? I don't know. I know. I'll just see. Oh, I can't. I'll just check it with the car door. I'll just slam it right here. I'll just bam.
hmm
Yep, can't feel my hand. Definitely working.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the bones sticking through my arm. Yep, can't feel that at all. Definitely working. Everything's working. Things are great. I'm gonna go in for a drink now. Maybe Santa's still around. I bet he's looking for a good roll in the hay. I could give him a hand, but only one, because I only have one working right now.
Oh,
Grandma's horny.
but I want to know the thought process.
Just explain it.
I know, but
Rachel,
like,
were you paying attention?
I was.
And I'm the one with ADHD.
Listen, I'm the one with anxiety.
Got it too, but better since the ADHD mess.
Woo! It's just one
Because
of those
most of it was ADHD related.
Oh, the
Yeah,
more you know.
yeah. Except situational. Got situational anxiety, but like
Social.
the rest of it was mostly like ADHD. It was like my brain was like malfunctioning.
Yeah, all of our brains malfunction. It's fine.
My brain was going like, I don't know how to do anything. Oh my god, my brain. Oh god, all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Constantly.
It's like
Mhm.
one of my coworkers today, because we've got some people that are stressed and been in and out of the office. She messaged me today and she goes, "Thank God I'm not really good at my job because I don't have to stress about it."
That's so good.
And I was like, "Or maybe you are good at your job and that's why you're not stressed." She's like, "No, let me be a mediocre employee. I don't want more complicated
No,
things."
no, that was good. That was good. That's funny.
Oh,
Well, Rachel,
well,
this is
Melanie,
our last episode for 2022.
it is.
Yeah, so
And because I'm a therapist in training and I'm going to do this, how does that make you feel?
uh kind of numb, really.
Yeah.
Not really in touch with my emotions.
That's why you're in therapy.
Yes. That's why I have a Chelsea.
Yes. That's why I have an Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's weird to think that this is like the last episode of 2022. We were gonna do 2 Christmas episodes. However,
I died.
Melanie died.
And then I arose 6 days
And
later.
yeah, and
Sometimes it takes a little longer than Jesus.
yeah. Melanie died and she came back to life. I've also been very busy with this master's course that's busy at my work. So we're just gonna do this one holiday themed episode and we'll be back in the new year. We're gonna have some more fun stuff. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna talk about some more weird shit, some more serious shit, some more movies.
Yeah. Maybe some mental health shit.
Probably some mental health stuff because, as I have
Yeah.
mentioned, I am a therapist in training.
Yeah. And I'm just, not fully mentally healthy.
Yeah, neither am I. you know, maybe,
Is anybody?
no.
No.
Maybe we'll
If
also
you're
talk.
alive, no.
No, if you lived through 2020, no.
No.
And also, we're going to be coming up on the 1 year anniversary of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Also,
Crazy that we've been at this for this long.
I'm surprised. I know, and we're not sick of each
Yeah.
other yet.
I was just thinking that.
We're not to the point where we're like, oh, I got to record with this person again. God.
Oh, God. Rachel.
Oh, Melanie. We're going to do some more stuff. We'll probably have some more guests.
Yes. More guests, more giggles, more goofs, more gaffs,
More guffaws.
more falls.
2023.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So,
we also are going to be turning 30 next year.
age is just a number and I can never keep track, so.
This is why I'm here, because I keep track.
Yeah, sure. I forget my age all the time. Sometimes I have to do the math to figure it out.
Yeah.
I have 2 concepts of time.
Now and
Now and not now.
we will be back the first week of January, as long as
Yeah.
it dies between now and then.
I prefer to be living
Yes.
sometimes.
Well, I was going to say
Depends on the depression.
it's debatable. It's debatable if I want to be alive some days, all right?
Depends on the depression and the world climate.
Depends on the depression, depends on what's happening in my life, depends on what's going
Yeah.
on at work, depends on what's going
Yeah.
on with my personal life,
Human rights, human rights law, if that goes downhill,
Yeah.
I could just, be like, oh, maybe it's not a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dark humor. Chelsea, don't listen to this episode. I'm
Amanda,
sorry.
also don't listen to this episode, please.
Cut
Mom, Dad,
it out. Cut all these out.
if you happen to listen, this is a joke.
It's all jokes.
I very much want to be alive.
I want to be alive, I swear.
I swear I want to be alive. Maybe.
What about killing people?
Melly's just going to write about killing people. I'm just going to read
Yeah.
about people killing people.
Okay, we do need to end this episode because it has to end. Like the year.
It does.
You see the segue?
Because all good things
Great.
must come to an end.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow us, because there'll be some holiday-y post while we're off, if I remember to post things. You can follow us on Instagram. We're Inconsistent Podcast 1. You can like our Facebook page. We're Inconsistently Consistent. If
We
you
have a
want
Gmail.
us, our longer thoughts, or email us and tell us that you miss us over Christmas and you wish we were filling your ear holes with laughter. We are inconsistentpodcast1@gmail.com. Melanie wrote a book. It's called The Toy Maker. You can get it from melanieflynnbooks.com or anywhere that books are sold and printed. If you're interested, I have a TikTok. I'm at RayToria7 on TikTok. I post some weird, funny shit on there. I think it's funny, and I think that's what matters.
Yes. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, you can find all of my information on melanieflynnbooks.com. It's the easiest way to find me.
Mm-hmm.
All my stuff is public.
I should probably make mine public.
You should. Come to the dark side, Rachel.
I'm
even making Star Wars references for you.
I'll just delete all the creepy messages from men being like, yo, you want a sugar daddy?
I don't get those. I get all the, do you want a book review for $1 million?
I get those ones, and I get, we think you would be a great brand ambassador for this thing. You should.
Yes, me too.
I get those ones too.
I also get the ones that are like saying that for your dog, but like they talk to you as if you're the dog.
Yeah, I get them to my dead cat's Instagram sometimes. And they're like, hi, we think this pet would be a great brand. I'm like, okay, this cat is dead, so if you want me to, like, you know.
You can say dig her up.
I mean, she's cremated, so I dig up the ashes. I don't know how this collar would look on a pile of ashes, but we can find out.
I pictured it. Oh, okay.
Hashtag ad?
Hashtag sponsored?
Hashtag dead cat.
Hashtag in memoriam.
Hashtag deceased. Okay, everybody. Have a good holiday.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy holidays for whatever holiday you're celebrating. We hope that you have a holiday that doesn't need to make it to the Reddit, users, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to make it to those boards without, unless it's a good one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or unless you really want to make it onto like those forums. Like you're really wanting that drama.
Mm-hmm.
And then if so, like, you do you.
Yeah.
You go piss at weddings if that's what you want to do. If that's what you're on board for, okay?
Yeah.
Just like see if I'm going to be attending first.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to, like, please don't. So
yeah.
Just like my personal preference. So
yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Happy holidays.